Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Franck Kessie, as it has been reported that Barcelona have rejected Galatasaray's loan to buy offer for the midfielder, as the club want to sell Kessie for 30 million euros. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about Sofian Amrabat, who was closely linked to Barca some weeks ago. It has been reported that the player, who is now linked to United strongly, is still waiting for an offer from Barcelona. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Just a while after reports emerged claiming that Franck Kessie had agreed to leave Barcelona this summer, speculations over his future are starting to pick up again. Indeed, according to Sport, Turkish giants Galatasaray have come forward with an offer to sign Franck Kessie this summer on a loan deal with an option to purchase at the end of the season. However, Barcelona have rejected their proposal as the club only intend to sell the Ivory Coast international permanently. It has just been a year since Franck Kessie moved to Catalonia, arriving as a free agent from AC Milan. However, game time had been hard to come by for the 26-year-old in his debut season at the club, owing to the intense competition in the midfield department. In the minutes that he did receive, Franck Kessie showcased his qualities. However, his game time situation is unlikely to improve this season either, with Ilkay Gundogan arriving and with Barcelona also needing to make sales owing to their financial situation. An exit appears on the cards. However, Barca will only consider offers that are for permanent purchase and not for ones like Galatasaray did offer, wherein it was proposed that they would take Franck Kessie on loan for a year with an option to sign him permanently. As such, it was swiftly rejected. The La Liga champions are holding out for a figure of at least 20 million euros, 30 million euros, sorry, for Franck Kessie, who is attracting some interest from clubs in Saudi Arabia. Now, new director Deco sees Franck Kessie is a valuable player due to his profile and does not want to undersell him. As such, if offers meeting the Blaugrana's demands do not arrive, the possibility of Kessie staying put are not ruled out. Of course, Franck Kessie's future remains very uncertain, as Barcelona clearly wants to cash in on him if the opportunity comes their way, and only if that 30 million euro demand is being met. Because, as I said, Sporting director Deco sees the player as a valuable player, and selling him cheaper than 30 is a big mistake, according to Deco. And of course, there have been a lot of offers for Franck Kessie, according to recent reports, with Galatasaray being one of the teams that have been showing interest lately. For Franck Kessie, their offer to buy him on loan and for a purchase option have been knocked back by Barcelona. Franck Kessie, yesterday we got reports that the player is now open to leaving Barca, as Javi have recently spoken with him and also explained the current situation, showing, in fact, telling him how next season is going to be tougher, considering that Javi does not really see him as part of his plans moving forward. And the player is already a mature man, so he understands the situation and he doesn't want to act like how Ferran Torres have been in the past week, refusing about two occasions that he does not see himself leaving Barcelona by any means. But Franck Kessie knows that game time might be very difficult to come by this next season, especially as midfielders are adding at the club. Players like Ilkay Gundogan have joined, and Barca are looking for a new DM by all means to replace Busquets, which means that Franck Kessie's game time will further take a hit, and definitely the player doesn't want to kill his career by doing such or by staying put. So he's reportedly open to a possibility of departing Barca. So Barcelona's asking price currently stands at 30 million euros. 30 million. And honestly, I think for me that price will be so difficult for most of these clubs around to pay, owing to the fact that Franck Kessie have hardly played football. Last season he was not a regular starter, and definitely I don't think many of those clubs will see it okay to pay such an amount, except that a club can come that they really need his services very badly, and I think they can still shell out that amount. But Barca are holding out for that fee, and if they don't meet that amount, reports are claiming that Barca will still consider keeping Franck Kessie, knowing fully well that he will still add depth to the roster at Barcelona, which will really greatly help us into the competitions next season. In all competitions, we need depth, by the way. And I think that even if Franck Kessie stays, it will still be of great importance. And let's see how it goes for Franck Kessie. Apart from Franck Kessie, we've been talking about players like Lenglet that Barca are also negotiating to sell in permanent transfer with Tottenham Hotspur, but it haven't been an easy ride as those two clubs are still being separated by a valuation of just 5 million euros. Then we have players like Ferran Torres, as I've earlier spoken, he has refused twice that he won't leave the club, that he wants to disprove Xavi, Ansu Fati as well, Eric Garcia. Those are some of the players that Barca are willing to cash in on. Then moving on to the final story of discussion, Sofian Amrabat has been heavily linked with FC Barcelona since the January transfer window. The Fiorentina and Moroccan man has been attracting interest from several clubs across Europe, but he is understood to be crazy about a move to Catalonia. But talks about a move for the 26-year-old have gone quiet lately, with Barca deciding to move on another target such as Oriol Romeo. Despite that, according to a report from Gabriel Sanz of Mundo Deportivo, even though things have been quiet, Amrabat still has a deep desire to join Barcelona and is waiting for an offer from the Blaugrana, despite serious interest coming from Manchester United. Barcelona have been scouring the market for a new defensive midfielder after the departure of Sergio Busquets. The likes of Joshua Kimmich, Martin Zubimendi, and Marcelo Brozovic had been at the top of the agenda, but moves never materialized. As such, a transfer for Romeo is now in the works, but Amrabat still remains on the agenda at Can Barca. A move for him is no longer seen as a priority, although the club are prepared to go all out for him last time out, at one point when they were hoping to sign Messi. Now, despite the Catalans looking at other options, Amrabat is hoping that Barca come up with an offer for him. In the meantime, Manchester United are also interested in the Fiorentina midfielder and have been hoping to make a move for him. However, the Red Devils have not made a formal offer yet for the Moroccan international. Amrabat continues to wait for an offer for Barca, but given that what they are progressing on Romeo deal, it looks extremely unlikely that they will revisit their interest in the Moroccan international. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.